Most people don't wake up one day and decide to put God second. It doesn't happen loudly, it doesn't happen rebelliously, it happens quietly. Life gets busy, responsibilities stack up, expectations creep in, and before you know it, God is still important, but no longer central. If you're listening to this and something in you feels tired, conflicted, or slightly exposed, that's not guilt. That's recognition. And this isn't a message to judge you. It's a moment to sit with you. Because the real question isn't whether you love God, and it's not whether you care about your family. The question is this: after God, after family, who are you really living for? Most of us would answer quickly if someone asked, "Is God first in your life?" We'd say yes, and we'd mean it. But when life starts pressing in, when decisions need to be made, when fear shows up, when money is tight, when time is short, when expectations are heavy, that's when the real order reveals itself, because something always fills the third place. And the third place is powerful. It quietly shapes your decisions. It determines what you protect. It decides what you say yes to and what you avoid, not consciously, but practically. For some people, the third place is approval, living to be seen as good, responsible, strong, faithful, trying not to disappoint anyone, trying to keep the peace, trying to be liked. And slowly, without realizing it, you start living for people more than living before God. Not because you don't love Him, but because disappointing people feels more immediate. For others, the third place is control, holding everything together, planning every outcome, trying to stay one step ahead of uncertainty. You pray, but you still carry the weight. You trust, but only as far as you can manage the result. And you don't feel rebellious. You feel responsible. But responsibility without surrender slowly turns into exhaustion. For some, the third place is fear. Fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of not having enough, fear of what happens if you fully let go. So decisions are made from safety, not faith, from preservation, not obedience. And over time, life feels smaller, more constrained, more anxious. Not because God left, but because fear took the third seat. And for many people, the third place is self, not in a selfish way, in a survival way. After being hurt, after being disappointed, after caring too much for too long, you start protecting yourself, your energy, your peace. And while that feels wise at first, it slowly turns into isolation. You're still functioning, still believing, still showing up, but you're no longer fully offering yourself. Here's the truth: most of us were never taught gently enough. The thing you put third will eventually compete with God, even if it started as something reasonable, because God doesn't want to be first in theory. He wants to be first in authority, not to control you, but to carry what you were never meant to hold alone. This is why so many believers feel spiritually tired right now. They haven't stopped believing. They haven't walked away. They haven't lost faith. They're just trying to live a God-first life while letting something else quietly run the decisions. And that friction is exhausting. So let's slow this down. Not to fix anything, not to promise change overnight, just to notice. Ask yourself, honestly, without judgment, when a decision scares me, who do I consult first? When I feel overwhelmed, what do I protect most? When God invites me into something uncomfortable, what holds me back? Who am I trying to please? What am I trying to preserve? What am I afraid to lose? because whatever answers those questions is already sitting in the third place. And here's the part I want you to hear clearly. This is not a failure. It's awareness. And awareness is the beginning of alignment. God doesn't wait for you to get the order perfect before He walks with you. He meets you inside the misalignment, gently, patiently, without accusation. You don't need to dramatically rearrange your life today. You don't need to quit your job, move cities, or make bold declarations. Sometimes the most powerful shift is simply this: letting God speak before you decide, letting Him lead before you react, letting Him carry what you've been gripping too tightly, one decision at a time. If you're open to it, let's close with a quiet moment. No pressure, no performance, just honesty. God, you know the order of my life better than I do. You see where I've been living from fear or pressure or expectation. You see what I've placed in the third seat without realizing it. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for alignment. Gently reorder what life has rearranged. Teach me how to live from trust instead of control, from obedience instead of fear, from relationship instead of performance. I want to live for you, not just believe in you. Amen. If this resonated with you, you're not alone and you're not behind. And if you want to, share in the comments what you think the third has been in your own life. Sometimes naming it is the first step toward freedom.